Hello everybody, this is Zaxter99. Welcome to my Drive2Work episode. New series I've decided to try doing, I don't know, last week I think. It is a Tuesday afternoon. I am actually going into work a couple of hours early. A little bit of overtime has been requested by my boss. Fun times, huh? So I'm a little bit disgruntled today. On my last drive to work, my first one, I talked about Robert Duvall and the movie The Judge that I have recently watched, that recently came out on Blu-ray. And I talked about how excited I was for a movie upcoming, supposedly on July 24th here in the United States, called Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, I think is his name. And looks to be a really good movie. So I'm a little bit disgruntled today because it's not coming out on Blu-ray July 24th as they had been advertising for a long time. They've pushed that back now and are now re-releasing Southpaw in the theater this Friday. So they've made a decision to try to get a little more money out of the heavily hyped movie that's garnering rave reviews and getting a lot of big-time reviews. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to give in and give them their money. I think I'm going to go in and see that in the theater probably this Thursday or Friday, and I'll definitely be back on here letting you guys know all about it. So I got some construction here, it looks like. All right. So anyway, what are we going to talk about today? I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to go ahead and talk about another what if that I talked about on my last drive home, or one of my drive homes anyway. And I'm going to talk about dreams and technology. So, talking about dreams, it's an interesting, I've always been interested and found dreams fascinating and very interesting how your conscious brain is resting and sleeping, but your subconscious is continuing to work, and that's why you have dreams. It's your subconscious is what you actually dream, because it never really rests. So while you're, the thinking part of your brain, the here and now is resting. I guess that's the best way to describe it. The here and now part of your brain is resting. The subconscious is just putting out random crap, whatever, and your thoughts are portrayed in your dreams, whatever it might be. So, I've always wondered myself if we're ever going to have the technology, and I think I saw this in one movie growing up, like way back in the 80s or something like that. Maybe you guys will remember this movie or can let me know. But I think it was a pretty big movie. Dreamscape, maybe? Does that sound right? I don't know. But anyway, what if they had the ability to... I think in the movie, it had a person entering somebody's dream or something like that. But I don't really remember it. I just remember liking it when I was a kid. But what if they had the ability, I've always wondered what if they ever came up with the ability to hook your brain up to a recording device and be able to put whatever you dream into a picture with sound. Whatever you hear in your dream, you hear, on the audio. And basically make a DVD or a movie from your dreams. What would it be like to actually be conscious and be awake and alert and go back and watch some of this random crap crap that you dream. You know, some people say that dreams, you have like thousands or tens of thousands of dreams every night, and the longest dream is like 10 seconds or something like that. Like, dreams are that quick. I've never really believed that. I've never really believed that dreams are as fast as they said there. While I don't believe dreams go on for hours, I do believe that some dreams probably last a good 10 to 20 minutes. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. But hopefully, if you could go and record your dream on a DVD, hopefully it'd be more than just a bunch of really flat, quick flashes of random stuff. Hopefully it would be something more like a movie, like how we remember our dreams. Because when we go back and remember our dreams, we remember them like a movie. Okay, well, I did this, and then I went here, and then I did this, and then I went over here, and then this happened, and then that happened. When we talk about our dreams or what happened, that's kind of how we talk about them and how we remember them anyway. So I think it would be really interesting if they ever could come up with that technology, to watch your dream on a DVD. Is your dream something that you would want to watch, though, in front of other people? Like, if they could record your dreams and put it on a DVD, would you dare go and watch your dreams with your spouse or your kids or your brother or your sister or your friend? Or would you want to watch it yourself first and make sure that everything's okay? And I think that's probably the latter is probably what most of us would choose, because, nobody's ever been able to legitimately see or understand anybody's dream, let alone their own, let alone put on DVD. So I've always found dreams fascinating like that. And I want to go ahead and talk about something else, and that is, have you ever had, in the drive home episode, I talked about nightmares, and I talked about one of my biggest nightmares that I had. But on the flip side of that, what about the good dreams? Or the interesting dreams? How many of you guys out there have actually been asleep and maybe something happens, the phone rings or your alarm clock goes off or whatever? Say your alarm clock goes off, and when your alarm clock goes off, it wakes you up right in an interesting part or a good part of your dream. To me, it seems like this has happened all the time. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it's time to go to work or it's time to wake up, and I'm dreaming this. I gotta see what happens. So how many of you guys have turned the alarm clock off or, hung the phone up or whatever and said, you know what, I gotta go back to sleep and see what happens in this dream? You want to go back, and for life of me, I don't think I've ever been able to go back and continue a dream that I remembered when I was woken up by an alarm clock or the phone or whatever. I've never been able to wake up for a minute or whatever and then go back and re-enter that same dream. And if I did re-enter that same dream, I certainly don't remember it. I certainly don't get the satisfaction. I don't ever remember getting the satisfaction of going back and saying, oh, okay, this is what happened. Yeah, right when I was woken up, I was about to walk off a cliff, and then when I went back to sleep, I remember walking right off the cliff and, falling on a trampoline and bouncing up into the heavens or whatever. I never remember what happened to that dream, as interesting as it was. And maybe I did go back and continue the dream, but I just don't remember it, because I do believe that most of us probably don't remember 90% of our dreams, or probably 95, 98% of our dreams, whatever it is. We're lucky if we can remember bits and pieces here and there of a dream. So, I wonder what you guys think, though. Have you guys ever been in that dilemma where, you've been woken up in the middle of an interesting dream, and you wanted to go back and continue that dream? So you shut off your alarm or whatever and went back and hoped that you could go back and find out what happens, almost like you're watching a movie. You want to go back and watch it. You want your conscious brain to be alert and watch what your subconscious brain is playing in its movie theater, if you will. I know that I'm not the only one out there that has been like that. So let me know down in the comments below if this has ever been you. You know, if you've ever found yourself woken up in the middle of a really interesting or good dream, and you went back to sleep to try to continue that dream or watch your dream with your conscious part of your mind while your subconscious plays it out because it was interesting or something good was about to happen or you were just about to kiss that boy or whatever it was. You know, let me know down in the comments below if you would. So what else are we going to talk about today? It's about 95 degrees as I drive to work. Definitely hot outside. I've got the air conditioner unit on, and I'm just glad I'm working in a indoor environment. I don't have to work out in the heat or the elements. And some people are just the opposite. I mean, some people, they like to work outside. They like to work out in the elements, whether it be the sun or the rain or whatever. They would much rather be, you know, working outside and the sun on them or the rain on them or whatever than work inside an office with a computer or whatever. But ever since I got out of the Navy, I've pretty much been working in call centers, and that's what I do, you know. But let me know down in the comments below as well. You know, answer that question. What are you? Would you rather work outside, you know, doing whatever, doing anything, mowing yards or trimming trees or doing something outside, whether it be mechanic work or whether it be, you know, anything outside, maybe road construction, whatever. Would you rather be outside working, physical, usually that involves physical labor, or would you rather be a lazy bastard like me and work indoors in the air-conditioned office in front of a computer or, you know, in an office kind of environment, you know? Or maybe you'd rather work indoors, work in retail, you know, and selling stuff or whatever it is. Let me know, are you an indoor person or an outdoor person when it comes to your work preferences? I think that would be pretty interesting to see what some of you have to say about that. And then, you know, another thing that's just a random thought, and that's what this is going to be. You know, my drive home and my drive to work is just going to be kind of random thoughts, almost like a dream, you know, that kind of crossed my mind, and you know, just me kind of blabbing about it. But what do you think about, you know, life and the way our society is set up? As far as, you know, you're a kid, in the prime of your life as a kid, you end up spending maybe a fourth or a third of your life, probably closer to a fourth or 1/5, 20% of your life though, probably about half of your life that you're awake, that you're not asleep, about half of your life as a kid until you're 18, 20 years old is spent just going to school. And then if you choose to pursue college after that, it's even more. So you spend the prime of your life as a kid, probably about half of the time that you're awake, or at least a third of the time that you're awake, as a kid, going to school. And you learn all this stuff, all this math and social studies and English and how to spell and how to write, and you learn how to be a productive human being that can, you know, get by and spell his name and add 2 + 2 and all that good stuff so you can function in a work environment. And so when you get done with school, you know, it's about time that you want to get away from your parents, or your parents kick you the hell out of the house, whatever it be. You want your freedom, so you move out. And to move out on your own, most of us anyway, have to go from school to spending half of our awake time working. And so we work at this thing called a job, usually working for somebody else, usually working for a corporation or a company, under their rules, under their roofs, under their wages. And we try to make money so that we can afford a roof over our head, and so we can afford the bread and the bologna to make a bologna sandwich. food, if you will. And, you know, all the things that we want, whether it be video games or a TV or, you know, music CDs or gas for our car and a car to drive to get to work and all this. And so we end up spending, you know, 30, 40, 50 years after school working, usually for somebody else. And by the time we get to a point where we can't work anymore, we're old and feeble, and we have body aches and pains, and you know, we worry about things like a heart attack and stroke and cancer and all these bad things that hit us as we get older. So what do you guys think about the way we live? I mean, is it good that we spend so much of our life going to school and working for somebody else just to give us the basic needs for life? A roof over our head and food for us to survive? I mean, what's the alternative? The alternative is, you know, being a bum and living out on the street. That doesn't sound like much fun. But, you know, we have to be able to provide for ourselves, or provide for our families and the ones we care about and love. But it's a little bit ironic to me that in our life, you know, most of the time of the prime of our lives as we're a kid and as we're a young adult, when we have health, when we have a good body, most of our time, or a good portion of our time anyway, is spent doing things we don't want to do. You know, most of us don't enjoy working or going to school as kids. I mean, it's interesting, sure, and I'm sure a lot of us like it fine, but it's probably not the one thing we would choose to do if we could. I think most of us would choose to be doing something else. How many of you would rather be at work than be with your family, or be doing, you know, your hobby, your favorite hobby, whatever that is? I don't think there's a very high percentage of people out there that could say, oh yeah, I love my job, I'd much rather be working than, you know, kissing my girlfriend or whatever. I think most people would rather be doing other things than working or going to school. So that leads me to happiness. You know, when we're going through this almost robotic routine of life, going to school and going to work and paying the bills and you know, working until payday and then paying the bills and then working some more to make more money until the next payday and then paying those bills, and you get into a routine in life of, you know, it seems like you're doing the same things every day, every week, you know, whatever it is. Even if you're a housewife, you know, you're taking care of your kids every day. You get up and make breakfast. You get up and you know, you clean the house, and you do laundry, and you do the dishes, and then you make dinner, and then you clean up, you know, and then you go to bed. So it seems like we get in this routine no matter what we do in life, where we're doing this daily routine, this weekly routine that goes week after week and month after month, and we get in these ruts, if you say. So what is it, people, that determines your happiness while we all pretty much go through this daily and weekly and monthly and yearly routine as we get older? What is it that provides you with your happiness? Because for most of us, it's certainly not the work. It's not the, you know, it's not found in the daily routines that we grind at every day. We do this every day, you know, when we live, but we all live to find these elements, these little pores of happiness that we can reach out and grab, you know, that make us smile, that provide us that inner warmth and the desire, the motivation, if you will, to keep on doing this daily and weekly routine that we do. You know, there's got to be something to provide us with that, the motivation to continue, the motivation to get up and go to work, if you will. And to me, I think that comes in happiness. You know, whatever it is that makes you happy, that you enjoy doing, that you find fun, that is, like, you know, your source of energy to keep you getting up and going to work, to keep you moving, to keep you, you know, anticipating and awaiting what's going to happen next, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week. So what is it for you? Put down in the comments below, you know, where you guys find that motivation, those pores of happiness, as I call them. And for me, I think it's the simple things. I think a lot of us take it for granted, but I think the simple little everyday things, for me, are what motivate me. You know, things like that we take for granted, like, you know, the sunshine, the warmth of the sunshine on our skin, you know, the smell of the air after a rainstorm, after it hasn't rained for a long time, and then a rainstorm comes in and it rains over the dry air, and you walk outside after the rainstorm and you can smell it, like the air smells cleaner, it smells fresh. You know, a sunset, the smile on a baby's face. You're standing in line at a store and you see a complete stranger with a little, you know, 3-month-old baby in their, you know, crib, or not in their crib, but in their carriage, or in their hands. Maybe they got their little, you know, 4-month-old baby in their arms as they're checking out, and you see that gorgeous little baby face, that young, precious little new life there, and you see it giggle, or you see the little baby smile at you, or laugh at their brother, you know, jumping up and down on the ground below, and you know, and you see that little baby chuckle or giggle or laugh. You know, a lot of us stand there in line as we're waiting, and all we're thinking about is, man, hurry up, line, hurry up, line, hurry up, line, because we got so much daily stress, and we almost take that for granted. You know, that little giggle from that precious little baby. But that is one of the simple things in life that I think I personally take for granted too much, and I think a lot of us do. The sunset, you know, just the simple little everyday things. But internally, I think that is what keeps a lot of us going. That is what provides us with a lot of that energy and motivation to continue. Anyway, I want to go ahead and wrap this up. I am just babbling at this point. I'm just kind of babbling nonsense. But, you know, let me know what it is that keeps you going in your life. Where you find your happiness in your daily routine that I know you guys are in. You know, what is it that motivates you guys? What is it what is it makes you guys smile? You know, that you find you know, joyful and fun and gives you that sense of purpose. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Be sure you rate this video, and be sure you give me a like if you like the video. Like I said, be sure you subscribe to me as well. I'm almost at work. I want to go and thank you guys for watching. This has been Drive to Work. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Zach09. Take care.